Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, to my podcast. I am Adeoluwa and this is Musings of a Sanguine Christian Woman. And please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, um, like, share, comment as we go on with this as I speak. Like, once you hear anything that you can relate with or you disagree with, make a comment to that effect and let's have a conversation, as much conversation as we can have on whatever platform you're listening from, be it on listening platforms or be it on YouTube. If it's on YouTube, please subscribe. Thank you very much for subscribing, and I hope this would not be like you be here every time, and you check out the other videos and other audios that has been uploaded. Whether to just check out a different perspective or an opinion about something that you already know about, or something you don't probably even know about that much, but you just want to check a different perspective or look at my perspective or what I'm inspired to talk about concerning the matter. That being said, it's been a while since I have actually uploaded a content on either Spotify or what is it called now? YouTube. Like, it's been a while. I've just been, shall we say, I've always been busy really, but this kind of busy, just I just didn't feel motivated to upload things. It's not that I don't have something to say. I just, like, if I did it, it would be like I'm forcing myself. So this is like the time when I could say that I feel more willing, let's put it that way, to actually speak, and to speak. And I feel it's a little somehow because I thought I'll always be interested, but I guess there will be times when even the things that you like, you might not even be interested in them. So, well, to the topic, it is about why do some men choose outside. When I say pick out, like choose, prefer, to choose out. When I say out right now, out of their community, whichever community, whether belief system, whether cultural community or social community or indigenous community, spiritual community, like a religious community, and so on, denominational community. Like, some just prefer that, to pick somebody out, to choose somebody out. Like, they are more attracted to that. And from observation, what I there are a few things I think is the reason. One is that their community knows them too well. So they are probably self-conscious that there is nothing about them that their community does not know. And maybe they just want to be fresh in the eyes of somebody, which is also for them as well, because perhaps because they grew up with everybody in their community, so they know who is who, they know who did what, when, and how. Like, there are some people that would say they can't marry their friends, but I think it's not necessarily because they can't marry their friends. I think it's because of what they do know about their friends. Like, they're still friends with the person, but they don't see themselves marrying that person because of what they know about the person. So I think that the fact that there is no mystery to in the eligible women in their community. There is no mystery, and there is no mystery for them as well. Like, just like you know them, they also know you, so for some people it's actually a good thing. They think it's good, like, you know what, I want to be with somebody that actually really knows me and understands me. But for some people it is too uncomfortable for them, perhaps because they're not comfortable with what others know about them. They're not comfortable with what their community knows about them, and they're not comfortable with what they know about those in their community. Like, maybe they just like the art of discovery, adventure, where they are discovering things and they are being surprised, like. But then with their community and with their various sections, the various sections of the communities they belong to, that mystery is no longer there. They know everything there is to know. They know, they can predict what each person in their community would do, and vice versa. So it's like there is nothing else to find out here. That is not enough reason to choose out, but we're not talking about whether it's enough reason or not. It is just that it is how some people think. Some people would actually like to be with somebody that knows them too well, like, so they don't have to explain themselves. They know the person knows them, and they just want, because of what they know about the person, they just want to, spend time with what they know about the person because of what they know. Maybe they know that this person is, like, they feel comfortable with this person, they feel safe with this person. They know practically everything they need to know about the person, right? The interesting thing is that they'll probably choose somebody that is exactly like somebody in their community, but the fact that they don't know it yet, they still have to discover it and unwrap it, in quotes, is something that they probably feel like is going to make a boring life for them. So that is one perspective on why men you know, prefer romantic interests outside of their communities. Then there is the issue of, and it's hinged on what I just said, the fact that then there is the fact that they see their community people as family, and they probably think, like, so much so that the idea of actually being romantic with any of them is, for them, it feels like incest, because they see everybody in their community as their brother and their sister, or they see every eligible single person in their community as their sister. Now, because they see everybody in their community as a sister, it's kind of hard to transform from that to something else for them. Some people transition easily. They move from calling somebody sister to the person becoming their wife. And I guess maybe they just call the person sister. Those who can marry somebody they call sister, they probably never really see the person as a sister to start with. They just call the person that so that they would not chase the person away from them, for one. And for two, so that the person will relax around them. And for three, they don't really see the person as sister. Like, because someone calls you a sister doesn't mean they see you as their sister. You get what I mean? So, but for some people, those they call sister, they really see them as sisters. For them, they are their sisters. And the very idea, they hadn't thought about it. And so for them, they rather choose someone that is outside of their community, because the person is not their sister. Because everybody in their community, every eligible person in their community is their sister. They are not. So for them, it would be incest to even pick one of them. It's how they feel. So it's not because they don't value their sisters or because they feel their sisters are less. No, it's that they really see them as their sisters. Like somebody that, like a sister from another mother who is like an auntie. You see. So for them, it is familial than it is anything else. So now we've talked about like the not so bad reason why people, well, men choose outside of their community. And I must say that statistics have shown, I'm not sure how valid that is, so you can check that out, because I'm very, very skeptical about statistics generally, so I don't use it often. But in this case, it is said that black men are the ones who marry out of their communities more than every other race, or more than any other, more than non-blacks. Let's just put it that way, And it calls for concern because, generally speaking, eligible, well-behaved, well-mannered black men are scattered among women. You get? So in a situation where in a circle, if there are 10 men and 10 women, you think that is equal. But you find a situation where the 10 women, or let's say maybe 8 women, are very eligible. 5 men out of the 10 are not eligible at all. Then you now have about the other 5 who are, work in progress, but they are working. So you have about maybe 5 of them. Then out of that 5 that are fairly eligible, you now have like 2 that are very eligible. Like they match with the 8 women. So you now have 8 very eligible women matched with 2 very eligible women, and 8 eligible women matched with 5 fairly eligible men. So when a black woman, for example, is talking about marrying out, she has a reason to be apprehensive, because she's like, so, and the thing is that, if she probably doesn't see the men around her in her community as potential, it might not be a problem. But, she looks forward, most black women look forward, to being with men in their communities, because for them, that is, how to start a family, build a family. Like, there's understanding, we know each other well. Yeah, except the men don't really agree like that. So you now find yourself in a situation where among those 5 eligible men, they are most likely to pick women that are non-blacks. So when those men that are even eligible, that are not enough, are picking outside their race, leaving you with the ones that are not eligible at all and are not interested in being eligible, it puts you in a dilemma as a woman, and you wonder. And some women, if they are not open-minded and flexible, what they end up doing is that they sign up to be with the man that is available, even if he's not, he doesn't embody the kind of man that they need in their life. But they're just like, what can I do? This is what is available kind of thinking. But when a woman opens her mind and she's flexible, she's like, what? If the men are picking outside of the race, why can't I give that a chance? I mean, if we're going by leadership by example, for instance, and we're following what men are doing, then if they are marrying out, neither should we too should, probably follow suit in a manner of speaking, right? And not shut the door and say, I only want someone from my community. Because what do you do when the men that you can be with or you want to be with don't see you the same way, it becomes a problem. Then we now go to the negative reasons why, some men prefer out. For one, they can bank on that mystery. They can bank on that mystery in the sense that, these people don't know them. Someone who is not in their community doesn't know them. And so they can put up a persona that they know this person will like and sell it to that person. And they can act it as long as they can until maybe the cracks begin to show and so on and so forth. You also have a situation where you are having inferiority complex and insecurity plaguing some of these men, who some out of the some that have preference for people that are not of their community. So you have a situation where some of them have complex. They are not the sought after. They're not preferred in their own community for whatever reason. They're not preferred. So because they are not preferred, it puts them at a disadvantage. Maybe the women will prefer them, but their families will not. Maybe the families of the women will have issues with the man. Maybe his career or his belief system and all of that does not tally with their belief. And so he needs to open his eyes and open his mind to be with someone that is outside of his community, that he's different for. Like he's a different kind of flavor, in quote, for that person. So there is that. There is also where these men, some of them are feeling inferior or superior. They feel like they are not good enough, or rather the women in their communities are not good enough for them, or they are too bad for them. So because they've seen a lot, right, there is that familiarity. And for some people, familiarity doesn't breed contempt. It just means that you're so familiar, like this person has now become family. For some, familiarity brings about family ties. That familiarity breeds family ties. I don't know whether you get that. Like for them, the more familiar they are with a person, the more they see the same person as family, right? For some others, familiarity breeds contempt. So because they know these women, they know their flaws, they amplify whatever flaws they have. The flaws, when they see women from their community, flaws is all they see. While they, eulogize and practically worship women from outside of their communities. And this, like I said, causes distress. Though the women of their community may try to hide it and all, but it's distressing for some of them. And so, to those women listening, just hold on. Yeah? What a person doesn't see in you, someone else will. Someone who is worthy of it. Besides, you don't even want to cast your treasure, because you are a treasure in a way. You don't want to give that treasure to somebody that does not value it. You want to make sure that you are with somebody who values who you are, respects it, who you are. Values your worth. That is really important. And so it might be change of plans for you. Your dream must have been to be with somebody in your community of the same denomination, same race, same culture, and so on. But If the only thing wrong with a man that is asking you to be with him is that his culture is different from yours, his background is different from yours, his country or continent for that matter, his origins are different from yours, but you guys have similar ideologies, similar principles, similar morals, like you agree on what morals are. His own morals are what your morals are. Like your principles are his principles. Like it just matches. You guys are not on dividing lines of principles. No, you are aligned in terms of principles, values, beliefs, and morals. Then you have something great to work with. And they're also your non-negotiables. If this man meets those non-negotiables and he's like effortlessly, he's meeting your non-negotiable needs, then you might need to reconsider that, oh, he must be from my community thing. Like they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and one man's trash is another man's treasure. Same thing, one woman's trash is another woman's treasure. I mean, there was a time when if a person does not recognize how gold looks like, they will sweep it and dump it in the dustbin as dust. Yeah? But someone who recognizes it would go into that dustbin to fish it out. Like, what? I remember a movie where somebody just packed books, old books and stuff, and just dumped it and threw it away. And when the owner of the house, apparently those books were diaries of her ancestors, and she suddenly became curious. She wanted to know something. She wanted to know herself better. They went into that dumpster to search out that book, those books, those diaries. They went in there. It was trash to the person who threw it there, but for somebody it was treasure. It was their family. It was their heritage. It was their background, and it held a key to knowing themselves better and to understanding what they came from. Yeah. So what I would say is this: your worth is not determined by what the people you are familiar with are saying about you. I guess sometimes it takes a complete stranger to actually see the treasure in you. Because you know what they say about familiarity breeding contempt. When people have become very familiar with you, a lot of times it's the worst of you that they see, or they see the not so good side of you, and it just amplifies in their eyes, and they just see you as this not that good person to be around, but just that person that you have to be around. Then a total stranger comes and he sees the beauty, the value, everything in you, and you are just everything he's ever wanted. That is the man you want to be with, not a man who is familiar with you or you are familiar with, or is from your community. As long as your belief system is not being compromised, I don't think you have a problem. All right, I'll just put a stop there, and they probably continue this conversation because it's an ongoing one. Like, please like, share, comment on this. Like, what do you think? What are the other, is there something I missed? Because I'm sure I missed something. I guess that's why when I remember, I will say it. Like, what other reason do you think men, especially, date out, marry out of their various communities, as it were? Why do you think that is? Can it be reversed? Why should it be reversed? Should it just be left alone? Is it normal? Like, what do you think? Please share in the comment section, and I'll be sure to respond. I mean, let's make a conversation out of this. Okay. Remember, God has not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Shalom.